U.S. presidential campaign data released to the Federal Election Commission over the weekend shows that anti-Trump Republican donors are failing to rally around a single candidate. The data also indicates that the former president's closest competitor, Ron DeSantis, is struggling to garner grassroots support for his campaign. The conditions are not too dissimilar to those which saw Trump take the nomination in 2016. So let's get over to Bloomberg's Bruce Einhorn on this. Bruce, so is this ultimately good news for Trump then?
Well, it is good news for Trump in that he has very little difficulty raising money from small donors. Others have really been relying on the big mega donors. So Ron DeSantis has gotten support from people like Home Depot co-founder Kenneth Langone, from real estate developer Harlan Crow. The big problem when you rely on big donors, though, is there is a limit. There's a cap on how much any person can give to a campaign. So, for instance, once someone has given $3,300, they can't give any more, at least during the primary. And so quite a lot of the donors for Ron DeSantis have capped out. And so in order to keep the money flowing, he really needs to build up support among small donors. That's something that a lot of the Republican candidates have struggled with. One thing that I thought was surprising from the news is the results from South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, who has about $20 million cash on hand, which is about the same as former President Trump, more than Ron DeSantis, who had about 12 million. A big caveat in all this is that these numbers don't include the amount of money that super PACs affiliated with campaigns can raise. There are no limits on how much people can give to super PACs. Super PACs are not allowed to coordinate with campaigns, so it's not, in some ways, not as good as having the money in the campaign itself, but there is a lot of additional money that can go to those super PACs. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, does have $130 million in his super PAC, so will not be short on cash for the coming months.